Tonight, Troy University honors the noted Southern author.
Plus, Band Geeks makes its big debut. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Nightly News for March 30th, 2012. I'm Christina Cook.
And I'm Courtney Steele. Thank you for joining us this evening. A Birmingham Elementary School and a Montgomery High School are now officially part of Troy University's Confucius Institute family. Howes Elementary School in Birmingham and Lamp High School from Montgomery were officially dedicated as Confucius classrooms in a ceremony this morning. The Confucius Classroom will work Troy University's Confucius Institute to teach children Chinese language and culture. Students from the Highland School showed off some of that knowledge by singing in Chinese. Chancellor Jack Hawkins says these classrooms will be crucial to better international relations.
To be the best, we believe that we must be dedicated to promoting the language of China, an understanding of the history and the culture of China, and economic development activities among all Alabamians.
Today's ceremony was part of China-Alabama Week activities on the Troy campus, which included the dedication of the permanent offices of the Troy's Confucius Institute and the Alabama-China Education Symposium, which began Thursday and wrapped up on Friday afternoon.
This week, noted Southern author Bobby Ann Mason was in Troy to be honored for her contributions to Southern history and culture. Dustin Carroll has the story.
Thursday afternoon, Troy University welcomed Southern author Bobby Ann Mason to the campus to receive the Hall Waters Prize in honor of Troy alumni Wade Hall. This award is given in honor of writers who make contribution to Southern letters and culture. And as Kurt Kernut, the chair of the English department on the Troy Montgomery campus, tells us, Bobby Ann Mason is one of the most prominent Southern writers.
Certainly, Bobby Ann Mason is without a doubt one of the top 5 most influential Southern authors of the last 30 years. And I think a large part of that contribution comes from a sort of empathy that she has for her characters.
Don Noble, interviewer for the show Bookmark, said this event was a special taping for Alabama Public TV.
Bookmark is a literary interview show. I interview really only writers, and I've been doing it since the spring of '88.
Mason was also promoting her new novel, The Girl in the Blue Beret.
It's about a man who was a B-17 bomber pilot in World War II, and his plane crashed, and he was stranded, and the French resistance helped him get back to safety.
You can say Mason has a connection to Elvis Presley. Well, not really. Mason wrote a biography about the king of rock and roll and his life and times as a musician.
I used to think that Elvis was a failure because it was a failure of character, but I discovered that it was because of the culture, because of his fame, and the way he was, the kind of culture he grew up in.
Dustin Carroll, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In addition to her presentation in Troy, Mason visited the Montgomery campus on Wednesday for a reading from her latest novel, The Girl in the Blue Beret.
A musical written by a Troy alum was based on his experience at the Sound of the South, made its Troy debut. Band Geeks made its premiere performance last night in the Claudia Crosby Theater. The musical was written by Troy alum Tommy Newman. Although Band Geeks has been performed elsewhere, last night's performance was the first time the show is performed with an expanded cast. Troy's theater department worked with Newman to help with the expanded changes. There are 2 more performances of the play, tonight and tomorrow night, both at 7:30. Tickets are still available for both shows and can be purchased at the door by calling the box office at 334-808-6477 or by going to the theater website at troytheater.org. The Greek Week competitions kept on rolling yesterday as the participants engaged in a friendly childhood game.
That's right, Courtney. Hunter Robinson was there to catch up on teams reliving childhood memories of game of kickball.
Members of the fraternities and sororities on Troy University's campus gathered on Sorority Hill Thursday afternoon for a friendly kickball tournament. The tournament is held annually in the week-long event known as Greek Week. The whole week is dedicated to having fun and intermingling with each other to become united as one to represent the Greek life on campus.
The purpose of Greek Week is, unity amongst Greeks. So, it's a change in pace because it's uniting fraternities and sororities into teams, making them work together for one common goal.
The kickball tournament was one of the many events that were held this week, and while most of the events were to benefit others, the kickball tournament was meant to change it up for the members of the Greek organizations.
While the fraternities and sororities on Troy University's campus are usually holding events for different charities, today they decided to have some fun in the sun with a good old game of kickball.
The event included 5 teams in a single elimination style tournament. The tournament consisted of 4 games, and at the end of the day, members of the ATO and Delta Chi fraternity and Phi Mu sorority made up the winning team.
It was awesome. The weather's nice. Both teams just playing for fun, and we came out on top. That's great. So it's been awesome today.
Greek Week will hold a few more events this weekend and will conclude on Sunday with the crowning of the Greek Week champions. Hunter Robinson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The last event of Greek Week will be held on Sunday, which will be the field games.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Montgomery, the unemployment rate dropped to 7.6% in February for its 7th straight month of improvement. State officials said today the jobless rate for the last month was 0.2% better than the January number.
In Columbia, another longtime teacher from one of the state's top school systems is facing charges of sexually abusing a student. Authorities say 38-year-old Jeffrey Scott Atkins is being held on 6 charges, including 3 counts of sexually assaulting a student. Shelby County Schools officials say he is a teacher and band director at Oak Mountain Middle School.
And also in Montgomery, a nightclub just a half a mile away from the State Department of Human Resources in the capital city has come up with a unique theme night involving food support for needy families. The Rose Supper Club in Montgomery will start Food Stamp Friday theme nights in April. The manager says patrons will not be able to use their food stamps card to buy alcoholic beverages.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the Trojan football team will be in action tomorrow as they play their annual T-Day game. Destin Kerr will be in later with the details in sports.
But first, the family of George Zimmerman is coming to his defense. We'll see what some of his family members have to say when we come back.
George Zimmerman's family defends him as local businesses brace for another protest demanding his arrest. I'm Randall Kingston in Sanford, Florida. Details coming up.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
If you can learn one thing in life, especially if you go into business, it's how to communicate and how to work with others. And I do think Troy taught me that.
Troy reaches out to people who they see their commitment to public service.
Troy just attracts students that want to give back to the community, that want to give back all across the world.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We want to enable our students to go out into this world and make a difference.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Christina Cook at the Global News Desk. Christina?
Thanks, Courtney. More protests are planned over the death of Trayvon Martin, the Florida teenager shot by Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman. Demonstrators want Zimmerman arrested, but his family is now coming to his defense. Randall Pinkston reports from Florida.
George Zimmerman remains free and is not talking about the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. But with continuing calls for his arrest, Zimmerman's family is going public. Robert Zimmerman Jr. told CNN his brother acted in self-defense and, quote, stopped someone from disarming him and shooting him. You return force with force when someone assaults you. The 17-year-old Martin was not armed when the Neighborhood Watch volunteer started following him. Zimmerman told police he thought Martin looked suspicious.
He's got his hand in his waistband. And he's a black male.
We are Trayvon! Across the country, demonstrations over Martin's death show no signs of letting up.
Here in Sanford, another demonstration is scheduled for Saturday demanding that Zimmerman be put on trial. All of the protests have been peaceful, but local businesses are worried. What was your reaction when you first heard about the shooting?
Well, I'm a mom, and just as in, I have a son, and that could have been my child.
Elizabeth Reichert says business at her coffee shop is down 50% this week.
When you get media reports that say up to 25,000, then 40,000 people down here, like I said, any conscious person would say, maybe I don't want to go downtown tonight. I'll go get a cup of coffee tomorrow.
She fears her patrons won't be back as long as the protests over the Trayvon Martin shooting continue. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Sanford, Florida.
Mitt Romney gained another big endorsement just a few days before Wisconsin's primary. One of the state's conservative lawmakers says he's backing the former governor. Romney's lead is growing, but his opponents are hanging in the race for now. Danielle Nottingham reports from the White House.
Mitt Romney took the stage in Wisconsin with one of that state's best-known lawmakers. He picked up the endorsement of Congressman Paul Ryan, a conservative known for taking a tough line on government spending.
Because in this man, we have a person of conviction. We have a man with the right kind of experience.
Ryan joins a growing list of Republican leaders lining up to support Romney, including former President George H.W. Bush. Despite that, the former governor's chief rival, Rick Santorum, says he'll fight to the finish. Campaigning in Wisconsin, he said the Obama administration keeps imposing rules that are killing jobs.
And I will eliminate every single one of those regulations on day one.
Santorum is trailing 7 points behind Romney in the latest Wisconsin poll. Newt Gingrich is barely registering on the same survey. He's got just 8% of the vote. Despite scaling back his campaign, Gingrich spent the day in Wisconsin, taking aim at President Obama's job performance.
Here is the worst job creation record since the Great Depression.
The former speaker said in a radio interview Romney is clearly the GOP frontrunner and will probably earn the nomination. The two met, and Gingrich says he's staying in the race until Romney earns those delegates. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the White House.
After years of debate, the Food and Drug Administration will rule by Saturday on whether to ban the chemical BPA in food packaging. Pressure has been building along with the pile of research pointing to possible health risks. And Inez Ferrer reports.
Here. Is this what you want to look at?
Carrie Jaffe has 3 young children, and she's careful about what they eat. That means only foods that are packaged without BPA.
This is something that could affect our children now and for the rest of their lives.
BPA is the industrial chemical bisphenol A. It's used in all kinds of food containers, from baby bottles to tin cans, and it could be a health risk, particularly for children and pregnant women.
She will take the BPA into her body and immediately pass it through to her baby, where it can cause terrible damage to the baby.
A recent study looked specifically at the effect of BPA in children under 3. It found the chemical can change their behavior, making them anxious or hyperactive.
Many companies, including Campbell's Soup, have already started phasing it out, but pediatrician Philip Landrigan says the government needs to carefully vet the alternatives.
The problem is we don't know if those substitutes are safe or unsafe, for the simple reason that they haven't been properly tested.
9 years ago, when her oldest child was a baby, Carrie Jaffe didn't know about the possible risk from BPA.
I feel very concerned that I inadvertently exposed her to a lot of issues.
She wants the government to ban BPA so she'll have one less thing to worry about. Inez Ferrer for CBS News, New York.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, including the emerging details about a link between the mysterious death of a British businessman and the sacking of a senior Chinese Communist Party official, you can tune into TrojanVision Global News right here after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Courtney.
Thank you, Christine. And now Dustin Carroll joins with a look at sports. So, Dustin, I heard that both the softball and baseball teams had a little trouble this week when it comes to winning.
That's right, Courtney. Both teams had some tough losses early in the week, but we'll have an opportunity to make it up this weekend, and I'll get into that right now.
after splitting a pair of road midweek games as the Trojans beat Jacksonville State Tuesday 9-1 and lost 4-2 to Alabama State on Wednesday. The Troy baseball team opened a 3-game weekend series with Florida International. The Trojans entered this weekend with a 12-12 record and 2-4 mark in the Sun Belt. One player that has really stepped up his senior year is right fielder Boone Shear. The Pensacola, Florida native is currently second in the Sun Belt with 32 RBIs. Another player that is making his father proud is junior first baseman Logan Pierce, who has hit safely in 14 straight games for the Trojans. First pitch for Friday's opener is set for 6 p.m. Saturday's game begins at 7, which will be televised on the Sun Belt Network, and the rubber match Sunday gets underway at 1 p.m. The 8-game homestand comes to an end this weekend for the Troy softball team when they take on a tough conference foe in Florida International. The Trojans are currently 2-3 on this homestand after losing a hard-fought contest to South Alabama Wednesday, 6-3. Senior infielder Hayden Gahn has led the Trojans at the plate with a .429 average over this current homestand. And as Coach Melanie Davis says, this homestand is a crucial time for this team's success.
We're just going to work hard and bring a good game plan in on Saturday and Sunday for FIU. That's probably the biggest series of the year for us so far. And we just got to rebound and be strong and, go get them.
Saturday's matchup will be a doubleheader beginning at 1 p.m., while Sunday's rubber match will start at 1. After 13 practices, the Troy football team is ready to strap it up and play the annual T-Day game. Kickoff is set for 2 p.m. this Saturday at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and admission to the game is free. Following T-Day, the Troy football team will hit the road and play a scrimmage game against Central High School in Phoenix City next Friday. The Troy track and field team will be heading to Mobile Saturday to compete in the 2012 Jaguar Classic at the University of South Alabama. The Trojans are coming off a strong performance at the Georgia Relays last week, where Chris Upshaw placed first in the 400 meters with a time of 48.88 seconds. Saturday's meet will be held at the Jaguar track, beginning with the field event competition at 10:15 a.m. Troy will be competing against South Alabama, Southern Mississippi, Tulane, Birmingham Southern, and Mississippi College.
Will, Courtney, Christina, best of luck to the baseball and softball teams this weekend. Hopefully we'll have a good attendance for the T-Day game tomorrow, and good luck to the track and field team. So a lot of sports going on this weekend, so everybody needs to go out and check it out if they don't have anything going on already.
Exactly. Can't wait. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dustin. Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News. Still want to be a part of Troy University's 125th birthday celebration? There's still a chance. Learn how in today's edition of Trojan Talk.
Plus, the rain finally made its way here, but it looks like it won't stick around for very long. Courtney, how long will we see the wet weather?
Well, that's right. The rain did finally make it in today, but it might stick around for a little bit of your weekend, but I'll have more on that coming up in weather.
Throughout my years in show business, most problems could be solved with a song or a joke or a gag. Well, right now, I'm working with the World Wildlife Fund on an issue that's anything but funny. When I was a Midwestern boy back in the 30s, as many as 80,000 tigers roam freely throughout the world. Today, it's estimated there are fewer than 3,200. They're vanishing quickly and could soon be gone from the wild forever. In fact, there's a real chance that my grandchildren and their children will inherit a planet where tigers are found only in zoos. But with your help, there's an even better chance that tigers can make a comeback. Right now, the World Wildlife Fund is working to protect tiger habitats and to stop the senseless killing of those magnificent creatures by poachers. But they need your support. Would you visit SaveTigersNow.org? Keep tigers from fading from the picture forever.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Courtney Addison joins us with a look at weather.
Well, Courtney, we experienced some rain today, and it seems we're going to have a little bit over the weekend. We have so many festivities going on this weekend. What can we expect with the weather?
Exactly. Unfortunately, there is a small chance of rain that we could be seeing it into Saturday, but an even bigger chance for tonight. So make sure that everyone is safe and tries to make plans to stay inside and if they can. But first, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Looking at our campus snapshot, it's a gloomy day outside on the quad. Rain clouds have slowly started to roll in for tonight, so it's a good chance to go on and start heading back home and making plans to stay in for the night. And looking at our current conditions, we had light rain over throughout the day. Our temperature came in at 86, dew point at 63, humidity at 85, barometer at 29.92 and falling, and winds coming in from the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour. And today's stats, we had a high of 70, a low of 61. We had 0.86 inches of rain. The sun rose at 6:32 a.m. and the sun should set at 7:03 p.m. And looking at temperatures from around the state, we see Mobile coming in at 79, Birmingham at 67, Montgomery at 70, Troy at 68, Dothan at 70, Phoenix City at 75, and Huntsville at 70. For the most part, everyone is seeing a very cloudy sky going on, and with some showers on and off throughout the state. And looking at our current temperatures around the southeast, most everyone is experiencing very warm spring-like temperatures, and we even see places coming into the 80s in the peninsula of Florida. And also, if we turn back and look towards Texas, they're also seeing those very warm temperatures that we could possibly see coming in our way in the next couple of days. That's just something to keep an eye out for. And looking at our current temperatures around the United States, everyone's seeing very warm temperatures with the exception of the Northeast, still seeing those very cool temperatures in the 30s and the 40s, and also as well in the Midwest, they're still seeing very warm temperatures, so they should be enjoying those as well. In our current surface map for the United States, we see several cold fronts working its way and several band of showers farther up north. And looking closer into our area, we have lots of rain in our way, but if we look this way, we see a cold front coming in, which is pushing those cooler temperatures down into our area, bringing that rain. And if we look even closer, we see lots of red spots on the map, so be very careful if you're going to be outside traveling. It could get very severe over the next 48 hours. And looking at our precipitation forecast, we see mostly everyone's going to be seeing at least a little bit of rain. There is a possibility it could get heavier in certain parts of Alabama. Some parts could be seeing up to 3 inches of rain. And for Saturday's forecast, we have rain in our area for the most part. Everyone will be seeing anywhere up to at least 3 inches of rain. And Sunday, it's mostly moved out of our area with the exception of the peninsula of Florida. And also, if we look back out west, they're still seeing rain and icy conditions and some wind advisories throughout on Sunday. And on Monday, it's starting to work its way back into our area with the entire state of Mississippi and Louisiana covered and parts of Texas covered. That could be working into our area. And by Tuesday, we see rain is back in our area, and we'll be seeing anywhere up to 3 inches of rain for that, and it looks like it's here to stay for a while. So there is a possibility of rain. It should leave at some point during the weekend, but it'll be coming back at the beginning of next week. And for tonight's forecast, we have thunderstorms with an 80% chance of rain. Some of those could possibly be very severe, so make plans to try to stay inside if you can. And winds coming in from the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour with a low of 61. And for tomorrow's forecast, we have afternoon scattered thunderstorms with a 40% chance of rain. Winds coming in from the west at 6 miles per hour with a high of 82. And looking at our 4-day forecast, we see Saturday coming in with a high of 82, a low of 59. Sunday with a high of 87, a low of 62. Monday high of 88, a low of 65. And Tuesday with a high of 85. And a 40% chance of rain for tomorrow. So everyone be careful and just enjoy your weekend. Try to keep that umbrella on hand. So, Christina, we could also be seeing rain all throughout this weekend, so I hope everyone has the umbrella ready for Trojan Day tomorrow, and as well as the Greek games going on Sunday, there is a small chance that we could have some rain.
Oh, well, I'm sure that everyone knows, since we know in advance now, everybody can kind of prepare for the weather.
I hope so.
Okay, thanks so much, Courtney.